Welcome back to episode 7 of Brick by Haunted Brick.
In this episode, we will be building a parrot in the Leaning Tower of Pisa and discussing Scream 2.
We will be discussing major plot points and details of Scream 2, so if you haven't seen it yet, there will be spoilers ahead.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 7 of Brick by Haunted Brick. This guy, filming this guy. Gonna be finishing him up.
And I'm going to be building the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
I've been there.
Good for you, I haven't been.
But it doesn't lean as much as, just kidding. It's fake.
I wonder
It's
how
all
the
fake.
Lego's supposed to lean, though. Probably just one extra piece on one side.
Oh yeah, maybe.
But
You just have to tilt your head
yeah.
when you look at it.
See, guys, it's tilted.
You just have to tilt your head a little bit.
Alright,
Okay.
episode 7.
Woo woo! Scream 2, babies! One would say this is a series just like The Conjuring. It gets better. It just keeps going good.
I don't know why some characters have to die in this one. Randy, oh my gosh,
Sweet
we're just getting
baby.
into it. Freaking
Yeah.
Randy, like, come on.
I don't understand.
And you know why?
either.
It's because they separated, and he
Yes.
should have known not to freaking separate.
Which is why I'm like, and kind of he got killed off screen, so I was like, was there beef going on with like him?
Right, like maybe he didn't want to be in it anymore, and the writers were like,
Yeah.
fine, we're not giving you a good ending since you want to leave.
Because he's like, he does the rules. Like, he should know better.
He's like that guy. He's a horror movie guy, so why he would actually go out on his own and walk up with his back towards a van?
a van, especially because of the first movie.
Like, come on, Randy, that's
Well,
not you. That's not you. Did a light just turn on?
Yeah, it gets a little brighter in here sometimes when we talk. Grampy. It's alright.
Thanks, Grampy.
He said the lighting isn't good
Wait.
right now.
You know how I keep getting these, like, random, like, manifestation videos, or, like, I'll get, like, message from heaven videos?
Yeah.
I got one yesterday that came up on my For You page, and it was like, it's someone named Grampy, like, wanting to talk to you.
Oh my god.
And it said, woodpeckers are significant or something, and I swear to God, there's been this woodpecker in my fucking backyard.
Oh my god.
I've been trying to get pictures of it, but I haven't seen it since I started with my camera again. Yesterday morning, I opened the blinds. What's in my backyard? A woodpecker. And what's here in the studio? My camera. So I can't even get a picture of it.
Sorry.
So I just sat there watching him.
Don't you have a phone?
Yeah, but like, it's in the woods, in the freaking tree. I can't take a picture of that with my phone.
Well, you brag about having an iPhone and how great it is, so one would think.
Would your camera pick it up?
Yeah.
Okay, after this, let's go outside and record. Let's test.
Okay.
What's better, a camera or whatever that is? Well, I don't know what type of
Whatever
Android.
that is. Oh, I
Android?
thought you were just being like snippy.
No.
I was like, okay.
Rude. But
Okay,
it's
so, yeah. Okay, getting back to Randy dying. He must have done something to, like, piss off the frickin'
he
director
had
or something.
to have, like,
And his death just, like, wasn't great either. Like, I felt bad.
it was so, like, cheap.
Yeah, it was. Because he would have known better. Alright, but anyways, so this one opens with, I think I like this opening, even though it's, like, Jada Pinkett Smith, who is, like, you know.
I was like, why does this person look familiar?
Yeah, it's her. It's her. Oh, sorry.
I was like, why does this bald woman look familiar?
Why is this bald?
But we
woman
can't talk about that she's bald unless we want to get smacked.
You're right. Well, I don't think they're worrying about us. Will isn't coming for us. He's like, I'm done with that. That's not me. That's not who I am.
I thought that
anymore.
was G.I. Jane. I didn't realize that was Willow. Jada.
Oh, Willow.
It's the 4th of July.
Oh yeah, we're recording this on the 4th of July, guys.
Happy 4th of July. Hope you had fun celebrating with friends and family.
I hope you didn't. I hope we have a better time than other people.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Just saying. I have to give my truth, you know? My truth. So, we have the opening of, like, Stab 2. Not Stab 2. It's Scream 2. But they're making Stab based on the Woodsboro murders that we saw in the first movie. And I don't even know what Jada's name is in the movie because I just, like, look at her and I just get a little angry.
I wrote it down because it actually does come into play later.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because it's Maureen. Her name's Maureen. Her name's Maureen Evans.
Maureen Evans and Phil Stevens is her boyfriend.
See? I knew Maureen. I had that. I don't know why I doubted myself. You make me doubt myself.
So she's like not really into the movie. She's like, this is stupid. But
Why'd
like,
you take
she's
me
also
here? Wait, isn't
scared.
it Valentine's Day or something?
I don't think so. I think they're like just like
On a date, and she's like, "Why would you
Yeah.
take me to this movie?" Complain a little bit more. And she's like, "I'm gonna go get some like popcorn stuff," and she's like, "Give me your money," and he's like, "You have money. I know I have money. I want your money." Rude. That's what she does to. That's what she does to Will Smith too.
Yeah, that's just her MO.
And so, and she goes to get popcorn. He goes to the bathroom. He gets killed in the bathroom. Sorry, Ghostface.
All the urinals. Everyone is dressed as Ghostface, by the
Yeah.
way. He goes in. All the urinals are being used by Ghostface, and so he's like, "Okay, I'll go into the stall." So he goes into the stall, and he thinks he hears someone getting freaky on the other side. So for whatever reason, he puts his ear up
Yeah,
to
that's a
the
little
stall
weird.
door. Boom! Gets stabbed through the ear.
Like that,
That's
it like
weird.
sent like chills because it just like.
But
I
like
don't
a bathroom
know.
stall, it's plastic. How does the knife go through that?
Because do you see that knife is like hardcore? Like
It goes through the wall into his ear, like out his
I don't.
whole
Well,
head.
let's be real. I don't think those stall doors are that good. I don't know if they're actually
Maybe.
steel. They're probably like freaking plywood.
But like plastic, I think of like, I don't know.
It's movie theaters from the 90s. I don't think they're that great. Jada comes back with her. I'm sorry, Maureen Evans comes back with her stuff. She goes and
She
sits
starts getting
down.
into the movie, not gonna lie. Like she's almost,
Yeah.
she's like into it now.
She's too into it. She's like talking a little bit too loud.
She's like yelling at the screen, like, "Girl, what are you doing?"
What are you doing? And then a person dressed as Ghostface, who she thinks is her boyfriend. It's not. Spoiler alert, it's not. There it goes. Popped her in real good. And she's talking, she's like, "Oh, baby, like, this is like, blah, blah." And then all of a sudden, she's like, "Wait a second."
Because she touches him
Yeah.
and
She said,
realizes there's
"Hold
blood,
on."
and she's like, "Wait."
Uh-oh. She's like, "Uh-oh." And boom!
He
She
stabs her.
Stabs her.
But everyone is dressed up as Ghostface and like has all these fake knives, so no one even realizes that
they think it's
it's
like,
real. They think it's just
yeah, they
part of
think
the
it's
movie. Like,
fake
yeah, whatever, cool.
or it's like advertising for the movie. Like,
yeah.
they planned
so no one
it.
cares. No one really cares.
Yeah, and she's getting up and she's keeps trying to like walk away, or like run away.
She
And
ends
he
up
just-
on the stage.
Yeah, she keeps getting stabbed. He keeps stabbing the crap out of her. Like she's just getting got. And then she ends up on the stage and she lets out that cry. Ah!
And she dies on stage.
She dies on stage, which honestly is like a pretty cool death. Like if you're gonna die, like do it in front of everybody,
Honestly, yeah, I would.
right? It's the same beginning as we've been seeing. It's like the murder before the actual movie starts.
Basically, yeah. And then it cuts to Sydney. She's in college now. You know,
Good for
living her best
her.
life.
She's trying
New
her hardest.
boyfriend, what have you.
I think he's cute. I think he's a step up.
Yeah, definitely better.
He's gonna
than
be a
freaking Billy.
doctor. He's gonna be a doctor, so that's better
I mean-
than Billy. Billy wasn't gonna go anywhere. Let's be honest.
I mean, I think anything is a step up
Yeah,
after the boyfriend who tried to kill you.
yeah, you're right. Well,
Not much
kidding.
competition necessarily.
yeah, he didn't have a lot to live up to. He literally just had to like
Yeah.
hold her hand, and that would have been better.
But she wakes up to a phone call, and it's someone using the Ghostface voice, but she has caller ID now. So she's like, yeah,
Yes.
you're not gonna get me.
Because this is like, this movie comes out like only a year after the other one, right? Like the first one was 96. I think this one comes out in 97. So to have caller ID, that's a pretty big deal, I feel
Yeah.
like.
So she says the person's name, and he's like, damn it, and just like hangs up because he's mad that he got caught.
She's like, "Do you know that that's illegal in this state to make a prank phone call?" And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh crap," because she got that caller ID. And then we meet her roommate, Haley.
I like her.
I like her. I love her. She's so sweet, and she's so there for Sydney, you know.
Yeah.
Which is like a big score. Like she's not doesn't try and like take fame from Sydney, you know. Like I
Mhm.
feel like some people,
Yeah.
you know.
But she doesn't really care.
No, she's so chill about it. She's like, "Don't worry,
She's a
girl."
girl's girl.
Yeah, she is. She is a girl's girl, just like Tatum.
Alright.
Tatum was there, and now she has to have a new friend. But like honestly, Sydney should be telling people that like, you know what, my friends have a tendency to die.
Like, yeah, it should be like, at this point, it should be legally required.
Yeah, you know, like a sex offender has to go next door
Yeah.
and say, I'm a sex offender. She should have to help people.
My friends keep dying, so.
Just be like, 9 out of 10 of my friends are dead.
I'm surprised she's allowed at college. Like,
yes.
seriously, like, at this point, she's just a liability for everything.
She really is. But, you know, but she does deserve friendship, but, you know, she should have to warn people. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree.
There should be some kind of form.
But
she
I feel
has
like
to
her friend
fill out.
did know, and her friend is like, you know
You're
what,
right.
like, it's never gonna happen again until it does.
You're right, because I wouldn't think it would happen again either.
Yeah,
so
like-
I'd be like, I think we're good.
Like, whatever, like, someone kills your mom, and then they try to kill you. What are the chances
What
of
are the
someone else?
chances? Yeah.
But and,
That
like,
it's gonna happen again? I don't
like,
think
they're
so.
dead. You're, like, in college now in a different state. You're fine.
Yeah. Where is this college? How far away is it? Do we know?
I don't know.
Okay. I don't know either.
I don't know, but
I didn't look that part up. That's
that
all right.
person gets stabbed in the movie theater, so guess who shows up? Guess who shows up?
Guess who shows up? Miss Gail Weathers.
And Dewey.
And who does Gail Weathers show up with? To ambush Sydney. Cotton Weary. Who thinks he's there for, like, a sanctioned interview that, like, Sydney agreed
Yeah.
to. And Sydney is like, are we doing this again where I'm going to have to deck you in the face, Gail? Which she does. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
She backhands her, right? Doesn't she, like, backhand her? She does a good slap.
She does, yeah.
She
She
does a
gets
good
her
one.
good again.
Which, you know, Gail deserves.
Yeah.
Gail doesn't start to be, like, a really nice character, I think, until the end of this movie.
Yeah.
And then she realizes, like, I need these people actually in my life, not just as a story. She has good growth.
She does. Like, I kind of like her character development.
I still liked her in the beginning when she was kind of, like, a bitch.
I like her character, like, no matter what way
Yeah.
she's playing it.
And then Dewey shows up, and they're also happy, and then, you know, they gotta talk about what's going on. Dewey's
Yeah.
like, I'm not gonna leave you right
here to
now.
protect
I'm here
you,
to protect
Sid."
you. Which is so cute.
Especially because, like, she's the reason his sister is dead.
Yeah.
I would say, screw you, Sydney.
Yeah, I'd be
You're
like,
on your
you know
freaking
what?
own. But he's like, no, he's not that guy.
No, he's not.
He's not that
Did
guy,
I do this
pal.
wrong again? Oh my god. I hate these bird feathers. They're dumb. Dewey's there to protect because that's the kind of guy he is. He might not be a police officer anymore, but he's always going to be there.
Mm-hmm. Which, why can't he still be a police officer because of his lung?
Because of his injury.
Yeah, he has
he
a
can't, like,
permanent-
move his arm.
And he has a permanent lip that he has to walk with
And his
for
arm,
the rest of the
yeah.
movies.
And his arm doesn't have full motion because of the way he was stabbed. But you know what? He's not dead, so that's good. So they're all there talking, and they're like, no, I don't think it's really going to happen again. But you know what? Let's stick together just in case.
Yeah.
You know, Sydney's trying to, like, kind of tell her boyfriend, like, hey, maybe we should take some space. Because
Yeah.
I don't really know if you are the killer or...
Last time I trusted my boyfriend,
Yeah, it didn't end great for me. we see Haley again shows up with and then there's some sorority people because she's trying to get into a
Yeah.
sorority and they're really interested in Sydney because, you know, she's kind of
famous.
she got the fame
No.
aspect. So they're like, "Are you going to
She's
bring
that
your
girl.
friend with you? Like you can come if you bring your friend." And Sydney's boyfriend is also he's in a fraternity as well. And he's kind of like they're like, "You know what? You should join the sorority because we like to keep it in the family." AKA dating. They said that.
I know.
And so they're like, all right, fine. And Sydney's going to go to this big old, like, party for sororities and frats.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're there, and then we see Cece.
Poor Cece.
Poor Cece. Sarah Michelle Gellar. Love her. She's sober sister. So she's at the house, and she's got to be there just in case.
Just in case one of the other girls needs a little help.
Yeah. Which is honestly so smart of them. I love that. Good for them. But not good for Cece.
Nope.
Because guess what? She gets a phone call. And we all know what happens in Scream when you get a phone call.
Yep.
It's never going to be good. You will never return from that.
So she's like freaking out, and she hears these noises, but it's another sorority sister coming home. Like, oh, it's just
A
coming
little
home to get
misdirect.
changed.
A little misdirect action going on. And she's like, okay. And then she gets another call.
She thinks it's Ted. She's
Yeah.
like, Ted,
Her,
stop
like,
calling me.
her kind of booty call boyfriend that only calls her when he's, like, drunk. And her friend's like, don't answer. Don't answer to him.
Leave him alone.
And she's
Ignore
like,
him.
So she goes outside because things keep happening, but then the phone doesn't work, so she has to go inside to call campus police.
Yep.
And
So she tries, but
yeah, she doesn't succeed.
no signal.
And so Ghostface is waiting inside for her. They're fighting. They're scuffling. They run upstairs.
Naturally, upstairs.
Like we see everybody in this freaking movie do. And she gets yeeted out the window.
I wish they would show Ghostface like messing with like the phone connections, because he did it in the first movie at Sydney's house,
yeah.
and now again in the sorority house. Like, why aren't they showing that part?
I don't know.
Like, I wish they would show
feel
like
we got better things to do. Like yeet this girl out the window.
I know, but like, I feel like it would be more fun.
You're right. Like I think it is. But and then she gets stabbed. They're on like the little balcony. She gets stabbed.
Yep.
And then yeeted off the balcony again. So bye bye Cece. Cece's a goner.
Rest in peace.
Sorry, rest in peace, Cece. She's no longer with this franchise. She will not be a final girl, unfortunately. I would have honestly loved to see Sarah Michelle Gellar go in this movie, go a little bit further. But you know, you don't always get what you want, people.
Nope.
And I'm okay with that.
Sydney's our girl.
Sydney's our girl, and I'm fine with
We
that.
should learn to accept her.
I like her. I like her look in this one. Edgier.
Yeah.
You know, Sydney's grown up. She's edgier. She wears a dark colored lipstick. Oh, nuts. Ah, nutter butters.
She wears a dark color.
I dropped a Lego, guys. Alright, I'm back. Yeah, she wears a darker lipstick, you know. She's got, like, shorter hair. She's got a bob.
She's got the little
like
bob
a little
action.
badass bob action. She's grown up, you know. She's in college now. And we're starting to see who, oh yeah, Gail and Dewey are with, like, campus police or, like, the police in that area.
Yeah.
And they're figuring out, wait a second, well, Gail figures it out because she's a genius. She is.
She is.
She is the genius. She is the moment. And they find out that everybody who's dying has the same names.
Similar names, yeah. Either the same
Yeah.
first or last name.
Yes. So we
So
have
is Maureen.
Maureen Evans, Maureen Prescott, Phil Stevens.
Steven,
Yeah. Or
Whatever.
I feel like his last name started with an or. Oh,
Yeah.
an or.
and then the third one is Casey. And
Yeah.
we know Casey from the first movie.
Yeah. So.
Also,
There we
keep
go.
in mind when Gail first gets there, there's like this like reporter woman who's like
Yes.
really interested in her. Her name is Debbie Salt.
Yes.
So just keep her in mind. She's
Keep
like
her
in
in
every
mind.
scene, like always like stalking, like pretending to be this reporter.
She's like fully obsessed with Gail. And
She
Gail
is.
is like, go screw yourself.
Gail is like, mind your fucking business.
Yeah, Gail says,
This is
"I
my
get it."
story. Debbie Salt keeps acting like she's a real reporter. She just walks around like and like a skirt and blazer holding a notepad.
Yes.
That doesn't mean she's part of the press. There's no one following her through the camera. She's looking around with a notepad.
She says she writes for like the local like news or something, but she looks like a 50-year-old woman. Like, why would you be? That
Right.
seems like a job that you get just out of college. But
Right.
you know, maybe she's transitioning
So, right.
her careers.
So
Who
the
knows?
Sydney has 2 Secret Service members
Yeah.
following her around, and she's at lunch with
Her besties. Oh,
Haley,
yeah.
her boyfriend, and their friend Mickey.
Mickey,
Keep
who
Mickey in
is
mind,
a film student with Cece and Randy.
And Randy.
They were all in a class together.
So it's Sydney, Derek, Haley. Is that her name, Haley?
Yeah, Haley. I
Haley
think so. And Mickey.
and Mickey. And it's the cafeteria, right? But it looks
Yeah,
like
I think it's like the cafeteria.
filled, right? And Derek breaks out in song and dance because he loves Sydney and doesn't want to take a break. I'd break up with him. If anyone
we
thinks
can't
about
have
singing
that.
to me, it's
That's so
over.
embarrassing.
It's over. We're literally it's not that serious. I thought he was gonna like freaking propose or something.
Yeah.
Do something real.
And then she's like, "Oh, okay, I like you.
He's like, take my
Take my letters, my Greek letters,
My Greek letters.
which is a big no-no. He's gonna get the shit kicked out of him for it from his brothers.
which is so stupid.
Yeah.
I don't understand the whole sorority thing. Like,
Me
what's the
either.
point?
Me either.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares? So this whole big hoopla gave him her letters.
Yeah.
Wow. She's like, thank you, you're the best boyfriend ever.
And Sydney is going to
Gone.
school for theater, as well.
Which, why are you paying
I know.
school for that type of thing?
Your whole
I'm
life is a
judging.
movie, so.
Why
So
people
yeah,
pay to go to
so
school
she's
for
like the
art?
lead
Don't
in
know.
this very dramatic. I don't remember what it is, but she sees something, and this is like after the whole like thing goes down. She sees something,
Yeah, the whole play is everyone wearing masks surrounding her, which
and her professor is like, "You have to do it. You have to do it." And I'm like, "But why does she have to do it?"
right, like why is her professor forcing her? Weird.
Okay. And then and then Randy gets a phone call from the killer, right? He gets a phone call. Him, Gail, and Dewey are all together with her new
In a park.
cameraman, and like the quad. And they get a call, and Randy's trying to distract while they all start looking for who's talking on the phone to try and catch the killer. And, you know, Randy's kind of being a smart ass like he always is. And
But I just wish they didn't separate.
I know. And Randy gets got. He gets got in a van, stabbed a bunch of times. He gone.
It's Gail's new cameraman's van.
Yes.
So it's always Gail's van.
Yeah, frickin' A.
Damn.
I
Gail
know.
and her damn van. Just stop driving a van,
Stop
Gail.
driving the van. You don't need to be on camera all the time, Gail. Gosh.
She's so selfish.
God. So we have all these people dead now. So Sydney's gonna go away with her friend, with her like roommate and friend, Haley.
Basically, like witness protection.
Yeah. They're like, we gotta get these guys out of here. But Ghostface is like, no. Oh no! Oh, after Randy dies, we have Gail and Dewey going into
the school.
Like into the school, and of course,
Because they're trying to play back like all the tapes because they assume
Yeah.
he's somewhere in the audience of like all these press conferences.
Yes.
So they find a place to play it, right? Perfect place to have sex, don't you think?
I do. Why not? They're probably thinking they're gonna die.
Like,
They start going at it, kind of, and then they see the camera or they see the video, and it's of them. And they look up.
and Gail's like, that's not my footage, obviously. Obviously, it's not your footage, Gail. Thank you for letting the audience know it's not yours.
Don't hate on Gail.
So he runs up the stairs to try and find Ghostface because I see him in like the little like audio booth, like
Yeah.
what have you. Obviously, when you get up there, there's no one there.
They're trying to hide, and then all of a sudden, Dewey gets pressed up against a window. Gail's in a room, like a sound room.
On the other side of the window,
On the other side of the
watching it
window.
happen. She can't do anything. It's soundproof. She's banging on the window. Can't hear her.
Break-proof, soundproof, everything proof. And she thinks he's dead, so she kind of just gives up and lays down in there for a little bit. She's like, I'm gonna just take a nap. Cut to Sydney and Haley going in a car with the witness protection people. They're getting out of Dodge. Sydney's like, I've been here before.
Trying to get out of Dodge.
Yeah, they're like, she's like, I've been here before. We can't do this. Let's get out of here. And then
They're in like this normal ass station wagon, by the way, too, but it somehow has a cage in the back.
yeah.
And the doors.
I think it's like an undercover cop car.
I don't know.
It is, because it has that screen there that they normally have. So they're in like a little
But
sedan undercover
Also,
cop
was
car.
there a curfew set?
No.
Because why are they the only car on the street?
I think that's just a choice. That's just a film choice. And
So they're at a freaking red light. You think these two doofuses would pay more attention to their surroundings, but obviously not.
nope,
They can't.
idiots.
So Ghostface gets on the hood of the car, kills one of them,
Get some good.
gets them real good, and then the other one starts drives into a construction site,
The only one.
and gets stabbed in the face with a
Oof.
pole. So now they're all dead.
They're all dead.
Ghostface is passed out in the driver's
yeah.
seat, and the only way for Haley and Sydney to get out is they have to climb over him.
Which I don't know if I could do it.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
But they do. They get out. Haley's a little more timid about doing it.
Poor Haley.
Poor Haley. She's like, I don't know about this, guys.
But she does it. And then
then-
they're running away, and Sydney's like, wait, Haley, wait. I
This
need to
was-
see who it is. I need to pull his mask off. And she's like, no, come on. Like, you're
She's being
stupid.
smart. She's being so smart, but
Nope, Haley has to ruin it. I mean, Sydney
had
has
to
to
ruin it. She gets back. Ghostface is not in the car. And then all of a sudden, boom! Haley gets got. He comes up behind Haley.
Poor Haley.
Poor Haley. Haley gets stabbed.
You know, it's like, Sydney, Haley was there for you when she's there for you when no one else is.
And you royally fucked her.
And you killed
her. That one was on Sydney. I'm
That's
sorry,
you.
Sydney, but that was on you, girl. I love you, but like, dang.
Same thing with Tatum. She's the only person that's there for you, and you get her killed.
So now Sydney gets back to campus. And she goes, I don't know, why does she go to the studio or like the auditorium where her play is going to be?
Because she's looking for her professor, I think, isn't she? She's looking for her professor.
Which I don't know why.
Which,
who knows? Well, she goes there.
I don't know.
And her boyfriend is hanging. All of a sudden comes down. He was hanged from like
hanging
part
on
of the
star.
set. Yeah,
there's like a giant star that comes down. He was hanging on there, and his frat bros were beating him up, and
and he's like, "Oh, they got me good, Sydney." But then
she's like, "Wait, I've seen this before."
Yeah, she's like, "I don't know about that. I don't think that's them." So she's trying to cut him loose, and then we see Ghostface show up, takes his mask off. Who do we have?
Mickey.
Mickey is El Ghostface in this one.
And she's like, it shows her PTSD from last time. She's like, wait, they're friends.
Yeah.
My boyfriend and his friend. Last time it was my boyfriend and his friend. Do I really want to take him off of the star?
And Mickey is being like, he's my partner. I've been waiting for him. And Mickey's like, egging her on, saying that her boyfriend is the other killer. So she's like, oh, crap. This again.
So she doesn't know what to do. She's standing there, and Mickey shoots Derek.
Yeah, because Derek is kind of being like, I'm going to kill you. Bang! Which we have a gun in this movie. Different.
There was a gun in the last movie.
Yeah, but they didn't really, like, shoot that many people. This one, they were really using the gun.
Yeah, it was a gunfight.
It was a full-on gunfight.
So Sydney's in this huge set. It's almost like Greek mythology looking type set.
Yeah.
With all
like
these
Greek gods and stuff like that.
All this weird stuff hanging around everywhere, and she's like trying to escape Mickey.
We see Mickey's partner, his real partner. Who do we have?
Debbie Salt.
Who?
Guess who she is, guys? 1, 2, 3.
Billy Loomis's mother. From the first one.
She hates Sydney because if it wasn't for Sydney's mom, who slept with his dad, she would have stayed with them and broken up the family, and she got her son killed. You killed my baby boy.
She's like,
and Sydney's like, well, you left him.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's because of your whore mother. Everyone just keeps talking crap about Maureen.
Yeah. And then Gail comes up to try and save the day, and she gets shot. Gail gets shot in the gut.
And she falls off the stage into the...
Yeah, sorry, Gail.
Nowhere.
Yeah, she gone for right now. Gone but never forgotten. Yep. So, then so they're, Billy Loomis's mother, Mrs. Loomis. Is that what they call her? What is
She's
her
like,
first
Mrs.
name?
Loomis?
Yeah.
And Gail was like, I've seen pictures of her. And then...
I got a makeover.
And then Sydney was like, it's
it?
amazing what losing 60 pounds and getting a makeover can do for someone. Just still talking trash as she's like holding a gun to her. Like, good for you, Sydney, for not caring, but like...
Well, maybe let's not antagonize the people with the gun.
Let's take a deep breath here. Let's think.
Let's think about what we're doing.
You might not care about your life, but I think Gail still wants to live, so let's take a breather.
But, yeah, Gail gets shot in the ribs, and she's gone. And that's when Sydney escapes a little bit and gets the axe. And she starts cutting all these, like, ropes and the lights and everything that's, like, hanging from up top.
Basically she starts totally destroying the set.
Yeah, to try, and Billy Loomis's mother tries to climb up, but the cinder blocks get her. She falls down.
Good.
And then they start, like, hitting each other.
Also, at this point, Debbie shot Mickey thinking he's dead. She's like, I don't need you anymore.
Like, she's like, I don't need you. Because Mickey wanted to do this whole thing as, like, he's going to tell them that the scary movies made him do this.
Yeah.
And he wants to be in a trial. Like, he wants that kind of attention. She's like, yeah, we're not doing that. Sorry,
There's going to be no trial, and then just shoots him.
Yeah, just shoots him. She's like, nah.
Idiot.
So then it's just Sydney and her, and they're scuffling, they're fighting, and then Sydney shoots her, right? No, Cotton! Oh!
Cotton Weary
shows up. And Billy Loomis has Sydney by the neck.
What a storyline.
Yeah. Billy Loomis's mom has Sydney by the neck with a knife. And Cotton is kind of being like... She's like, if you're with me, Cotton, I can kill her right now. And the story, you'll be the hero. You'll be the story, like, what you want. And he's like, well, if Sydney wants to do Diane
Sawyer interview.
And then he ends up shooting Billy Loomis's mother, Mrs. Loomis. And then
how it's like, and then Gail comes out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like,
she's
I'm
still
fine.
alive.
I'm fine. I was just waiting for it to be over because at this point I'm done.
Yeah.
I was scared. And she goes, how in the last movie it's always like the killer always comes back for one last scare. Sydney doesn't even care.
But Mickey
Shoots
does
her in
come
the head.
back. Mickey comes back and they're pop, 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 pop. They shoot him like 12 times.
And then they shoot Debbie Salts in the head one extra time for good luck.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not doing this again. And then
Yeah.
shoots her right in between the eyes. They're like, nah, not today. And then they're all getting medical attention. Ooh, that's a good snap. And
Dewey survives again.
Again.
Yet again, another freaking stab in the back. He survives. Does he not have internal organs? Like he's some sort of like rare breed. Like should he be studied?
It's from the scar tissue. They're
oh,
like, it's
yeah,
the
they
scar
just put the scar tissue.
So like, good thing he got stabbed in the last one.
And then now it shows like him and Gail like.
She goes in the
ambulance with him. And they live happily ever after.
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
Until the next one.
All right, you ready for your fun facts?
Yeah, I really like this movie.
I did like this
just
one
wish
too.
Randy didn't die.
So who survives this movie out of the main cast? We have Dewey, Gail, and Sydney. The trifecta.
Yes.
They seem just one less. No Randy. Sorry, Randy.
I know.
Okay. When was Scream 2 greenlit to like be a movie? Like when were they like, oh yeah, we should do another one?
Or like how long after the first one?
Like how long after the first one?
A year?
Not even.
6 months?
Not even. Like when they first started filming the Scream movie, they were like, this is going to be so good. We're doing the second one.
Really?
Yeah. And then, okay. Who was, what was Haley's character going to be? Because she wasn't going to be like how she turned out to be. It was going to be something else.
Was she supposed to be Randy's girlfriend?
No, she was supposed to be one of the killers. But it got leaked. I think it was supposed to be Haley and Sydney's boyfriend, Derek, were supposed to be the killers.
Damn.
But it got leaked. So we could
I'm
have
glad
had
it wasn't her
completely
boyfriend
different.
because that would have been like
Yeah.
too obvious. Like obviously it'd be her best friend and her boyfriend because that's like who it was last
Yeah.
time basically.
Okay, and then I have one more.
I would be so mad though if I was meant to like last the whole movie and then they just killed my character like almost halfway through.
Okay, yeah, and then here's one more. This is just a fun fact. It's not like a trivia question, but Jada asked Wes Craven to kill her in the most gruesome way they could in the movie because she thought it would be extra shocking because she wanted to do like a one-up on Drew Barrymore's death.
She didn't though.
She didn't, but like that's what she asked
didn't.
because she was like, I want something really, really like gruesome and bloody.
I feel like they didn't really show that much blood though. Like she just got
know.
stabbed in the movie theater.
And I kept hearing that it was like they had to do reshoots because they kept getting like NC-17 like ratings instead of R, which like it means you can't like have it released in all these theaters. So they had to do reshoots to make it rated R. But I was like, maybe because it was the 90s.
What is NC-17?
It's like one step above rated R.
Oh.
Yeah.
From like all the stabbing and stuff?
Yeah.
I feel like it's not that bad.
But I think because it was 90s, it was like, we're used to different things now. We're a different breed now.
Yeah,
where
we
like
are.
nothing is like off limits. But back then, I think it was like more strict. But alright, Scream 2. Done, in the books.
I barely made any progress, so this
You
will
really
be,
didn't. I finished my birdie.
Is harder than it looks.
I finished my birdie. It's a parrot. You probably won't see this in the background anymore, guys, because I'm going to deconstruct it and make the other two things that you can make out of this one. Because it's a 3-in-1.
I love this little guy, though.
I do, but I really want to keep the fishy. Because we already have a bird. We have Hey Hey.
I know, but...
Well, when I'm done and if I don't like the fish, you can
Okay.
build the parrot again.
Okay.
Thank you for watching another episode of Brick by Haunted Brick.
Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok for more content throughout the week.
We'll see you next Thursday where we will be discussing Scream 3.